Thank you all for joining us for this second part of the CloudSource overview. Today we're talking about, or in this session we're talking about the scholarly publishing landscape is changing. Are you ready? And we're really diving more into the second phase of CloudSource, which is called CloudSource Plus. Again, I'm Rick Branham. I'm the SirsiDynix Senior Vice President over Content Solutions, among a few other things. And with me is Mariska Connolly. She's the smart one of the bunch, if you haven't figured that out already. But Mariska is a librarian and a former e-resource librarian, so she knows of what she speaks. And she's our Director of Marketing and Partnerships for CloudSource. And I will hand it over to you.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So glad some of you stuck around for this part. All right, so I'm going to start with this word cloud, and it's relevant because we just had a user group conference with a lot of our customers 2 weeks ago. And of course, you've got to ask the question, what's on everybody's mind? What are you worried about right now?
And this is 2,600 participants,
yeah,
so it's a pretty big sample set.
I was about to say that. It's a lot of librarians. And, you know, it's exactly the things that you would expect right now. It's budget, it's staffing, which in the same way is also budget, because if you can afford to hire more staff, you will. Funding, the kinds of things, Baker and Taylor pops up in here, change, uncertainty. I mean, a lot of these things are something that I think everyone here could probably empathize with at this point. I don't know anyone who's like, I've got more money to spend than I know what to do with. I have all the staff I need. It's universal at this point. So I want to start a little bit, since we talked about the OA coverage on this, I want to talk a little bit about traditional discovery. And this is familiar to many of you. You know how this works. Right now, the status quo, and I'm actually going to put my glasses back on because I'm getting old. Right now, the status quo means that we've got basically two companies that basically run all of the content discovery. Two platforms. We've got our EBSCO, we've got our Claravit. This is how it's been for a while. We've got a lot of smaller folks competing, but you know, it's a well-established field on the traditional side. But the landscape itself is changing, and I promise this will be the only duplicate information here. You know, we've got 70 million OA resources, and that covers all kinds of things, articles, mostly articles, but books, ebooks, we've got data sets, we've got OER in there. There's a lot out there in the OA landscape. 55 million scholarly resources, things that we can verify with pretty good high degree of confidence as peer reviewed, which is a lot of peer reviewed content in the OA sphere. 61% of all OA since 2017, of all scholarly content since 2017 are completely open access. And of course, 67% in 2023 was open access. And we're still kind of getting some numbers rolling in for 2024, but I would be shocked if it was lower at this point. And of course, this is all due to funder mandating. You got to have grant funding, and if you're applying for grant funding, you have to publish with an OA license. And so it's really kind of disrupted this entire traditional model, because now the companies that have typically sold you subscriptions and handled your discovery side of the house are now having to contend with the fact that large amounts, 2/3 of what was published in 2023 was open access, and that changes everything. Right, so these third-party discovery tools, they are really designed, because it's a business model. I can't argue with it. This is how it is. They're designed to surface the things you're paying for. And it's not a secret. It's in their knowledge base articles and their Q&As. If you've got multiple versions of something out there, you're going to get the paid content to click on, because usage statistics have to look good so that you continue to renew those resources, and it's understandable. But the way that things have been done traditionally really is at odds with how the publishing landscape looks today. There's no reason to have to log in to access something that's OA. That doesn't make sense anymore. And it's just a barrier to your patrons, to your freshmen who don't remember what their login is, to your community members, to your alumni, to people who want to be able to use these resources. Well, and you can sometimes find your open access content in here. So for starters, here running a search, I immediately come to a login. If I wasn't a member or didn't know what my login is, I'm already stuck. There is often some kind of give me more links or find additional links to a resource. I don't know of any student that knows it's there. I know it's there because I'm a librarian, but most of them don't. And even if you click on that to find additional links because you were prompted to log in and you don't have that login, you've got to scroll through a list to get down to maybe an open access resource on the publisher page at the bottom or DOAJ. You know, it's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. And, you know, again, it's understandable, but I don't know many patrons, especially students, who are going to go to this much trouble to find an open access resource.
And let me point out that
Yeah.
what we were looking at is Primo at an R1 university,
Yeah,
just so you're aware.
100%. Let me go back on that there. Ooh, this clicker is not.
You're going forward.
I know I am. The clicker is not communicating with my. There we go. That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
So, you know, the things that are going to get promoted first are not going to be what's easy to get to, what's one-click access, what is accessible, and, you know, and it shouldn't be prioritized over the things that are licensed. Your relevancy should be neutral, and I think we all pretty much agree with that. It should be things that apply the most as far as your terminology, how new the research is, but you're going to get things at the top of the list that are by, you know, the publishers that are actually, you know, subscription content. So this is actually an article about how difficult it is to find OA. Unfortunately, it's not an open access article, but the truth of the matter is this literature is well established at this point. You can't throw a stone without hitting one of these articles, but they all boil down to the same thing. Open access is out there, it's prolific, it's almost impossible to find, and especially going through traditional discovery models that aren't, you know, designed with that in mind. All right, so, oh, I'm on to you already. Man, this time goes quick.
It does. It should be called a lightning session.
I know, just about.
Okay, so now we want to take a look at the discovery application for CloudSource Plus. And what I'm going to do is just walk you through 3 different scenarios. Again, when we source a list of hits, it's properly relevancy ranked, regardless of whether it's OA or not OA or what have you. But when we click on something that is available OA, we go straight to the full text. So we're not using a link resolver. There's an embedded list of links. And if it is PDF, the most recent PDF is what we prefer. Otherwise, the most recent HTML version of the article. If it's not OA, then we check your entitlements. So we look to see if you have it licensed, and then we use either direct linking or a link resolver to take you straight to the full text. And then if it's not either of those, we fall back on, if you choose it, a on-demand fulfillment service, Get It Now or Research Solutions, their Article Galaxy Scholar. All right, so let's walk through that. So I'm doing that same boring search on artificial intelligence. It's hard to come up with neutral search terms that won't offend somebody. So I think we can all be angry at